Whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire with chops. Whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire with chops.
Hello, and welcome to what seemingly is episode 5 of Whiskey by the Fire with Chops. We did not do an episode last week. Most of you know by now. I did have a bit of an accident on my scooter. A car pulled out in front of me, stopped very short. I hit my brakes, jammed them really hard because I did not want to hit this other person. And when I did that, I hit a bit of a rough patch on the pavement, went over the handlebars, hit my head. Very thankful was wearing a helmet. That helmet saved my life. Many a firefighter, EMT, and police officer who were there on scene were saying that I was very, very lucky that I chose to wear a helmet. So that's my advice for everyone. Please, if you're going to be out there riding a motorcycle or a bicycle, a skateboard, wear a helmet. You never know, because you just take that awful turn, whack your head, and your life will be changed forever. I definitely got to give a shout out to Hamden Fire Department, the paramedics, EMTs, their emergency services, and the Hamden Police Department. They did a wonderful job. They got me picked up off the road, down to Yale New Haven Hospital, got me checked out, did a CT scan, make sure I didn't have a concussion or any head injuries. They did a full thoracic and pelvic CT scan as well, and that's where they found out I had 4 broken ribs. So we're 3, 4, 5, and 6 on my left-hand side. They're very, very sore this week, so I had to curtail and put the kibosh on a lot of activities for this week because I've just kind of been in pain, and I'm kind of working through it, doing all right. Another kibosh sounds like a Yiddish word. It's not. It's actually not. It's an old Gaelic. It's an old Gaelic word actually. To put the kibosh on something, put a stop to. I found that out recently as well. So for all things Irish, all things Gaelic, all things Scottish, the chosen people we are. That's a little bit of tad of information for you this week. Coming up later on, I'm going to have a musical performance by myself, actually performing a Scottish song from one of my favorite comedian and musicians, Billy Connolly. Billy Connolly is most known for his acting, most popularly known for his acting, but he played folk music, guitar and banjo, and sang for many years before even getting into acting and comedy, and infused a bit of his comedy into his performances while he was performing music. And he's brilliant. So if you have a chance, check him out. He's got some solo stuff, and then of course he's got some stuff with a group called the Humble Bums, which was him and Jerry Rafferty from Steelers Wheel. So definitely check them out like that. But I'm going to start this out with some comedy. The last couple of years we lost, one of our Irish comic greats, Hal Roach. Not to be confused with the Hal Roach who was the producer of the Our Gang and Little Rascals, television and movies and programs and whatnot. This is Hal Roach, the Irish comedian, who had a long-standing residence at the Drury's Irish, cabaret hotel. So I've got a video clip of Hal Roach here. I hope you enjoy it. He's an absolute scream. I love his humor, and I every once in a while I'll dust off one of his jokes and tell it, and people are like, "Wow, that was really funny," and I'm like, "I can't take credit. It's Hal Roach." But so here without any further ado, here is a clip from the legendary, absolutely legendary Hal Roach.
Comedian of the Week.
Will you welcome, please, the King of Blarney himself, Mr. Hal Roach.
Oh, you're lovely. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Dublin, welcome to juries, welcome to the Emerald Isle. To all our Irish friends in the audience tonight, Céad Míle Fáilte to you, 100,000 welcomes. You know, ladies and gentlemen, Irish humour is so beautifully unpretentious that people love it all over the world for that very reason. Ireland was always conscious of the need to laugh. Laughter sustains us through all adversity. We Irish have the rich asset of being able to enjoy humour about ourselves and our lovely country, and we are the envy of the world for our ability to do that. And tonight, my dear people, I want to share something very special with all of you, a great part of our heritage, which is the gift of Irish laughter. Father O'Shea is the parish priest in a little village, County Cork. Last week he phoned the Pope in Rome. He said, Your Holiness, I don't know how to tell you this, he said, but the good Lord Jesus himself is walking down the middle of the village. What will I do? And the Pope said, look busy. Write it down, it's a good one, write it down, yes. Flanagan is driving in his car down in County Cork. He's had a good few drinks and he's zigzagging dangerously across the road in the car like that. A policeman on a motorcycle waved him down. He pulled into the side of the road, he put the window of the car down, and the policeman said to him, You're drunk. And we said, thank God, I thought the steering had gone. You know, the true stories are the greatest. They opened a little cabaret bar in Donegal here in Ireland some time ago, a new concept in an Irish cabaret pub. They tried to make it in miniature Las Vegas. All the disco lights flashing on and off, all the lovely decor. But the most unique feature of the bar was from ceiling to floor was totally mirrored right around the perimeter of the pub. And these two fellas, Casey and Flanagan, have been there all evening celebrating, enjoying themselves with a good few pints. About 11 o'clock, Casey looked across the pub, forgetting that the wall was mirrored, and he did a double take back to Flanagan, who was sitting beside him at the table, something like this. He said, Flanagan, the other day I was walking down the village and I was passing the post office, and when he said, Flanagan, you're not going to believe this, but there's a fellow sitting over at that table and he's the spitting image of you. And Flanagan looked over and said, you're right, he said, and the fellow with him looks like you. So Casey stood up, he says, come on, we'll buy them a drink. And Flanagan said, sit down, he said, I think they're coming over. This fella Doolan, by the way, he had a brother in Boston he hadn't seen for 25 years, and he won £60,000 in the Irish Hospital sweepstakes, and he went out of Boston to see his brother, and they had a wonderful time. But coming back in the airplane, there was an emergency on board, and the captain came into the cabin, he says, we got an emergency on board, and we may have to ditch this airplane into the sea. But he said, say a little prayer that we get down safely. And Murphy got down on his knees and he said, my God, I'm after winning £60,000. I'm going to be killed stone dead before I spend it. And he said, dear God, if you get this plane down safely, I give half my fortune to you and the church. Anyway, the plane made it, landed safely. And he's just walking off the plane as there's a priest walking off behind him who said, tapped him on the shoulder, he said, I couldn't help overhearing what you said. If the plane got down safely, you'd give half your fortune to God and the church. I suppose you'd like to start right away. He said, no, Father. He said, after the plane landed, I made a better deal with God. I told him that if I ever went up in a plane again, he could have it all. Well, that's what it's all about, isn't it, eh? Here's a nice little story. There was an old man down in County Kerry, 90 years old, and he was deaf, and he couldn't hear as well. And he had a parrot. Now, this parrot was a better talker than I am, and that's saying something. And he had this parrot on a perch inside the front door. One night, he went to bed. Of course, he went to bed every night, but this is a special night. And the next morning, there's a knock at the door. You see? It's the milkman. And the parrot inside the door said, who is it? He said, it's the milkman. And the parrot said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's the milkman." And the parrot said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's the milkman." And the parrot said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's the milkman." And the parrot said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's the milkman." And the parrot said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's the milkman." And the parrot said, "Who is it?" He said, "It's the milkman." And the parrot said, "Who is it?" I hope to God I remember the ending of this. This fella Casey went to the dentist. He said to the dentist, "All my teeth are turning yellow. What can I do?" And the dentist said, "Wear a brown tie." And the parrot said, "Who is it?" Yeah, glad I got back to that. He said, "It's the milkman." This went on for 4 hours. I won't bore you with the details. Eventually, the milkman passed out with exhaustion on the outside the door, answering this thing back. Just then the old man upstairs thought he heard something, he came down and he said, "Who is it?" And the parrot said, "It's the milkman." Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Oh, that's good. Good stuff. Always good stuff. Probably one of the best presents that I've gotten in the last 10 years or so. Somebody saw a Hal Roach record at Goodwill, and it was near mint condition, and they thought, okay, he'll probably like this. It says Irish, it says comedy on it. He's probably going to like this. I opened up the present. I was just like, oh, and they were just like, the person who bought it for me never even heard of Hal Roach, but just assumed it might be something that I would like. So she bought this for me, and I think she was more surprised than anything that I not only knew who Hal Roach was, but I was a huge fan. So, yeah, his humor is enough to get anybody into a much better mood, and the wonder that he can joke about the Irish. You know, if you can't laugh at yourselves, you can't laugh at anybody. You know, it's one thing to be self-deprecating, as just, you know, that's your shtick, your act, or anything like that, but to really take it to that level, you know, that's partially the reason why I'm drawn to so much humor and comedy from Ireland and Scotland and England, Wales, the UK, is because they're not afraid to take the Mickey out of themselves, so to speak. Speaking of things to make you feel good, I've got a viral clip here. This is a song that I found years ago that somebody threw together when I was looking for cat videos or something online. And I found this video, and I actually had the song as my ringtone for a while. But for those who love cats, for those who hate cats, for those who are indifferent about cats and everything, here's I believe it's called the Stupid Cat Song. But I hope you enjoy this, and I hope it puts a smile on your face.
Viral clip of the week.
Holy shit, it's another fucking day. It's the best day ever again. Cause I'm a stupid fucking cat and I don't know shit. And I don't know what it is to be sad. I think I'll run around for no good reason and act like there's stuff I gotta do. I have no idea how much the world sucks, cause I have no reference level. Holy hell, that guy's bringing me food. This food sucks, but I don't even know it. Now I'm shitting in a box cause I don't give a fuck, and the guy throws it out for me. Now I think I'll lie down here, cause I got no fucking bills to pay. Sometimes I look out windows cause I'm stupid as hell. Holy Christ, it's a piece of paper. I have no idea how pointless I am, and I don't even know I'm gonna die. Now it's time to go to bed, gotta get some fucking rest, cause it's the best day ever tomorrow.
Always fun times. Always fun times. In fact, actually, while I was uploading that, my little friend came in, Coco Kitty. Oh, the graphics. Coco Kitty, who I share a room with. I share her room. It's not my room. I share a room with her. She was here first. She's got her own little stoop built into the window frame so she can stare out the window at people and pretend like she cares. But, so yeah, gotta, like I said, if you love cats, if you hate cats, whatever, it's a funny song. It's not safe for work, I guess, unless you work in comedy where language doesn't matter. Yeah. So yeah, it's a NC-17 rating on that one. So a couple naughty words in that one. I'm gonna play a clip from one of my favorite, current favorite banjo players, Irish tenor banjo players, Jerry O'Connor, who's Barney McKenna has always been my favorite, and then I've got some, people who I follow who are friends of mine, who, the Ryan brothers, Pio and Donnie, and quite a few other tenor banjo players out there that are just. I love the fact that I have the opportunity to play with them and kind of sit there and admire their playing, and it pushes me so I can help get better. But this is a clip of Jerry O'Connor playing Bag of Spuds and the Copper Plate, which are two trad tunes. But he's phenomenal. Check out his other stuff if you haven't. He's quite the player. So here we have Jerry O'Connor. absolute savage playing from Jerry O'Connor. Every tenor banjo player out there aspires to be one iota as good as he is. And there are a few out there who are, I think, come close. But their humility will prevent them from saying, yeah, I'm as good as him. I'm as good as him, That one banjo player who which I do admire, sadly no longer with us. He's from County Cavan. He's passed away. Not this past year, the year before. So that's life. Comes and goes. I've got, like I said earlier, I was going to perform a Billy Connolly song for you. So this is a pre-recorded clip I recorded yesterday. It's with my Highland Hills in the background. So I hope you enjoy. I'm lying in bed, I'm in room 26, thinking on things that I have done, like drinking with squatties and filling my boots, counting the medals I've won. These hospital wards are all drab-looking joints, the ceilings as much as I see. It can do with a wee touch of paper or paint, but maybe again that's just me. Oh, Sergeant, is this the adventure you meant when I put my name down on the line? All this talk of computers and sunshine and skis, I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? I've a brother in Glasgow with long curly hair. I joined up, he said I was daft. Well, shooting at strangers just isn't his game. That brother of mine is my staff. I can put up with most things I've done in my time, can even put up with the pain. But what do you do with a gun in your hand? You're faced with 100-odd wings. Oh, Sergeant, is this the adventure you meant when I looked myself on the line? All this talk of computers and sunshine and skis, I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? Oh, Sergeant, is this the adventure you meant when I put my name down on the line? All this talk of computers and sunshine and skis, I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? I'm asking you, Sergeant, where's mine? Next one. So that's episode 5, wrapping it up with the song from the legendary Billy Connolly, actor, comedian, singer, songwriter. This is a song that song that I sang is called "I'm Asking You, Sergeant, Where's Mine." For another, want to check out couple of his other songs. The Divorce song is very funny, and the Welly Boot song. The Welly Boot song is the same melody as "Work of the Weavers," which is a very old Scottish song, but he kind of updated it to talk about the Wellington boot, the other Scottish national symbol besides the thistle or the rampant lion. So that's a wrap for this week. I'm hoping to have an interview and a guest in studio next week. Actually, things are starting to look a little bit normalized. I might even be able to bring my show, thanks to technology and editing and everything. I may be able to bring some of my show outdoors, instead of being cooped up by the fireplace. But I hope you enjoy the episode. Good things are coming. Just stick around. Hit like and subscribe if you want to keep up with the show and whatnot. I make no money off this. This is just pure enjoyment of, I want to do a show that highlights Celtic music and culture and humor and whatnot. So, so yeah, we'll see you again next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire, whiskey by the fire with chops. Whiskey by the fire.